Welcome back to my channel. Stay tuned to our channel for sports and entertainment news all the time. Please subscribe the channel. Novak Djokovic sets up Alcaraz showdown after reaching 14th U.S. Open semifinal. 40 minutes into his umpteenth big match under the lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium, Novak Djokovic seemed to be coming undone. After a supreme start, Djokovic's first serve had suddenly deserted him. His ground strokes began to spew unforced errors. Up against the wall, he faced 5 break points while serving for the first set. Each time he came close to falling into the abyss, allowing his distinguished opponent back into the match, Djokovic conjured up a spectacular response. That nerveless, clutch play would define his performance as Djokovic held off a spirited late comeback from a battling Taylor Fritz, who had been the superior player for significant parts of the match, and an increasingly unruly New York crowd to reach the semifinals of the U.S. Open with a 6-3, 7-5, 3-6, 6-4 win. Yet again, Djokovic has shown that he continues to perform at a level higher than any other player at his age in the history of the sport. Already the oldest man in the Open era to reach the quarterfinals of all 4 Grand Slam tournaments in a year, the 38-year-old has now reached the semifinals of each major event. Incredibly close match. It was really anybody's match, said Djokovic, who saved 11 of 13 break points. I thought I was lucky to save some crucial break points in the second set. I think for most of the second and third set, he was the better player. In these kinds of matches, few points decide the winner. It was fortunately coming on my side. This victory also further reinforces Djokovic's superiority over the vast majority of the field. He has been the 3rd best player in the world at the Grand Slam tournaments this year, defeating 3 top 5 opponents, Carlos Alcaraz, Alexander Zverev, and now Fritz, during those runs. However, as he continues his search for a 25th Grand Slam title, Djokovic will now have to face off against one of the 2 players who continue to define this new era of men's tennis, Alcaraz. Earlier on Wednesday, Alcaraz, the 2nd seed, eased into the semifinal with a straight sets win over Jiri Lehecka. A glimpse into Fritz's mental state at the beginning of one of the biggest matches of his career was perhaps provided by his attire. The American walked out onto Arthur Ashe Stadium wearing his bandana upside down, meaning its logo read Saab instead of Boss. Fritz has been in some of the best form of his life, admirably establishing himself as a consistent top 5 player and the #1 American. But against the very best, his deficiencies are magnified and exposed. Here, his attempts to pull off the biggest win of his match ended in tears. Although Fritz did not manage to take advantage of his 5 break points late in the opening set, at the beginning of set 2 the complexion of the match had changed. Suddenly, the American was in almost every one of Djokovic's return games, his consistent returning forcing Djokovic to work for every one of his service games, while Fritz eased through his own. Djokovic broke first and had a chance to serve out the second set at 5-4. But Fritz pulled him back by finally on his 11th break point. After all the work it had taken for Fritz to finally break Djokovic's serve, he immediately lost his nerve, concluding a messy, rushed service game with a double fault to hand back the break for 6-5.